So, this is my first video that doesn't involve a commentary or an update video. Let me just try to make a quick checklist before I get started. Script? Check. Pictures of my avatar Rick? Kinda wished I had more, but check. The episodes of my review? Check. Still funny memers? Check. Alright, I think I might be ready to finally branch out, and now I'm out of my comfort zone. I wish I could go back. Did you ever have that feeling that whenever you watch an episode for the first time around, something comes up within the episode that you don't like and that you immediately hated it? And you still hate it when it comes towards re-watching the episode over and over again? That was with me in my first couple viewings of the finale from the Amazing World of Gumball, especially when it first came out. After viewing it the first time, I was extremely disappointed with the ending of the episode, as it didn't met with my overall expectations of the show itself. And when I mean by expectations, I mean that it should fit the overall standards of having good and serious story writing that should teach people morals within their lives. Yeah, keep in mind, when the episode first came out, I was in this problematic viewpoint who thinks that cartoons were serious business and should be treated as such. However, did you also get that feeling that after taking a few moments to yourself and think about that said episode, you try to see as to why they did what they did, and maybe, just maybe, you think to yourself saying, you know what? I misjudged the episode. It wasn't really that bad now that I think about it. That was with me in the finale. Funny story about that. The synopsis of the episode is that the star of the episode/show, Gumball Watterson, and the rest of his family are fixing the wrongdoings that they have caused in the past after they were told that they must pay the damages after what happened with Mrs. Jotunheimer's son destroying 75% of Elmore, as mentioned in the previous episode. Gumball's father Richard paying up the damages for reckless driving or else he'll be jailed, again. Gumball and his brother/pet fish Darwin must start all the way back to kindergarten for aggravating people. Honestly, kinda a dumb reason, but okay. And paying $800,000 to the bank or else they will lose their house. However, along the way, they eventually messed things up even more to the point where they were sent to jail because they've broken a few laws during the process. They then escaped jail and then tried to solve the problems that they had by creating more problems to the point where the townspeople wanted to fisticuffs them. Now, I won't be reviewing a whole lot of the beginning or the middle part of it, as I mainly want to talk about the ending. However, if I may, I do want to talk about the part where they do start the episode, where they're looking back at old memories, or in this case, flashbacks of previous episodes, thinking that any kind of consequences are not in their worries, until when the news hits the doorstep.
Do you remember the time when your kids wound up my boy and he went on a rampage? Here's your half of the bill for the reconstruction work. Why are you looking so surprised? Did you really think we lived in some kind of fairy tale? 'Cause wake up, buddy, we don't.
Back when I first watched this episode, and heck, I still do now, I really like this part. I think I really like this part because back then, I thought that, well, she's right. Whatever you do may or may not have consequences later on within the future, whether it be a good thing or a bad thing. And I was hoping for the fact that they could do something clever with it that has a resolution. The present me, on the other hand, sees it in a different light, as no matter the end result of the conflict is, I haven't really seen a lot of Western animated shows or episodes that tries to take that approach with the whole past offense will lead towards consequences. And while there's the plot of having the townspeople hating on the main characters in an episode, most of the time I haven't necessarily seen it done well. So even for now, I'm really glad that this conflict from the finale was sorta new and refreshing to me. As for everything else within the beginning and the middle part, I honestly think that's fine. There's really nothing hugely noteworthy for me to even talk about. There are some good laughs here and there, and how they've reached towards the climax of them being thrown into jail and then getting out of jail flowed naturally without any real hiccups. What I actually wanted to talk about was actually about the ending, so spoilers, I guess? I don't know. Anyways, after when the Watersons created more chaos in Elmore, the townspeople decided to head over towards their house and fight them. Then this happens while the Watersons are huddling in the corner.
No! This is it! It's all over! The end of the Watersons! The only thing that can save us is reality being completely reset by some kind of magic device!
And then the episode ends abruptly. Thanks for watching, everyone. Now go home. Anyways, when I first saw this episode, I was, well, not happy with it. Like, at all. I was not happy back then because it seemed like as if it was a cop-out. And I thought that it was a cop-out back then simply because it didn't resolve any of the story elements in a thorough manner and then ends the episode abruptly. Even after all of the commotions that the Watersons made, back then I thought that they could have either rewritten just the ending so that they could have made a satisfying ending, such as how they could have a joke about the Watersons doing community service or moving into a different town, or just some of the weird reason resolve the conflict by winning a jackpot from the lottery that they could pay the damages, but then also create another conflict by seeing how many can corrupt them once they have the extra money to spend. Actually, now that I think about it, the latter makes a lot more sense in storytelling wise. I also didn't really like it because I thought when I looked up the episode back then, the ending to some people was considered as a deus ex machina, or God from the Machine. According to Wikipedia, and I quote, the term has evolved to mean a plot device whereby a seemingly unresolvable problem is suddenly and abruptly resolved by the inspired and unexpected intervention of some new event, character, ability, or object. Its function can be to resolve an otherwise unresolvable plot situation, to surprise the audience, to bring the tale to a happy ending, or to act as a comedic device. Post-production, do note that this quote was actually used from June the 17th of 2017, and the more recent edit, December the 4th, 2019, said that after the quote about the abruptly resolved by an unexpected and seemingly unlikely occurrence, it is typically so much as to seem contrived. Upon hearing this back then, even without the context of what some stories can correctly use it for, I found that to be a lazy way out, as I don't agree that a writer should write about an unresolvable plot situation just for a situation to be solved. I think the best way to describe it was that I personally thought that it could have been resolved if they didn't create an unresolvable plot to begin with, or just have the bad guys win or the tragedy to happen, but then make a glimmer of hope, such as having justice against the bad guys, or show that there can be some kind of resolution or hope after a tragedy in one way, shape, or form. So yeah, that gave me a really bad taste in my mouth upon hearing about this. But looking back at it now, my mind has changed about the ending of the episode for a variety of reasons. The first part was with what Gumball said. The only thing that can save us is reality being completely reset by some kind of magic device. This actually happens a lot more than you know in cartoons and has a reset button so that previous conflicts are forgotten. Take a look at The Simpsons, as that happens a lot after an episode. Heck, it happens a lot in the Amazing World of Gumball, even with some of the continuity that they have in some of the later episodes. Right after the episode ends, the reset button was used and everything is back to normal with no consequences towards the Watersons at all. And it made sense for the show to do that. And this gives a fresh new start towards the third season, my favorite season of the series as a whole. So that's actually pretty satisfying too. But I think the main thing that not only do I now really like the episode, but something in which case that I completely missed back then was, well, it was a joke. A simple joke that actually played off decently well. The joke was that after when Gumball said that final statement at the end, the credits would roll in. Looking back at it now, that's actually pretty funny. I think the main gripe of it back then was when watching the episode the first time, after when Gumball said that final statement, they would cut to the promo of the next episode of Uncle Grandma, so I kinda blame Cartoon Network for this instead. Looking back at it now, not only was I taking the ending way too seriously, but it was one of the things that gave me a new perspective towards how I felt about cartoons as a whole. that it shouldn't be taken too seriously. I really do commend Gumball for taking that step in the episode, and I really love the episode now. Plain and simple. Hey there guys, I hope that you guys really liked the first episode of the MTReview Show. So not only am I going to be doing some episodic reviews of cartoon shows, but I'm also going to be doing some seasonal / show analysis as a whole as well. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you guys really want me to do a request on what episode / show that I should look into next. Also, let me know if you guys really like the editing style that I have, or if you want me to change things up a bit, or, well, anything else. Really. The Google Doc of all of the avatar pictures of Rick, as well as the other avatar pictures for my commentary series, are down in the description / comment section, and things such as my Patreon, my Twitter, my Curious Cat, and other useful things are down in the description below too. Also, don't forget to hit the like button if you really like the video, and hit the subscribe button / the bell icon if you want to see more things from me. And if you have any issues with the video, then leave it down in the comments below, or you may have my permission to do a commentary video on this particular review. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode of the MTReview Show / A363 MTR Commentate series. More than likely the latter, considering that I have a 25th special coming up really soon, and it's a really big project that I'm actually working on. Anyways, with that being said, I'm A363 MTR saying have a wonderful journey through the depths of space and time, but until then, I'm signing out.